Hello, and I'm at Hitchin on the East Coast Mainline. In this video you'll be seeing services by Grand Central, Great Northern, Hull Trains, London Northeastern Railway and Thameslink. Here is the 1420 Thameslink service from Horsham to Peterborough, being worked by a class 700, and that 700 is 700-139. As you can hear, the announcement is really annoying. It just keeps on saying the next train at whatever platform won't stop here for some reason, even though it never happened. But anyway, let's spot some trains. The next train to pass by is going to be LNER Zuma from Aberdeen to London King's Cross. (800-107).
From the 1426.
Now arriving is the 1425 Thameslink service from Cambridge to Brighton, being worked by a class 700. I'm sorry about my finger being in the screen in the last clip, I didn't notice that. And behind me is the LNER Zuma. Never mind, it was a 225 set. I didn't get any of the numbers. This is 700-141. I should be able to check on real-time trains, but I think it only gives you one of the numbers, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. It's quite annoying. Now departing is the 1426 Thameslink service from Cambridge to Brighton, and that LNER 225 set was 91-109 from London King's Cross to Leeds. The next train to pass by is going to be LNER Zuma from London King's Cross to Lincoln Central. (800-201). Now arriving is the 1433 Thameslink service from Cambridge to London King's Cross, being worked by a class 700. Now departing is the 1434 Thameslink service from Cambridge to London King's Cross, and it is 700-022. The next train to pass by is going to be LNER 225 set from Leeds to London King's Cross. (82-211) and 91-130. And that's what we like to see. Okay, so we're about to have two trains pass by. The first is going to be a Hull Trains class 802 Paragon from Hull to London King's Cross, and we're going to have some Great Northern class 387s pass through. That was 802-304, and here's some Great Northern 387s from London King's Cross to Ely. 387-118 is leading. 125 is on the rear, and those other Great Northern 387s are also from Ely to London King's Cross. And they are coming on quite slowly, probably because they're waiting to go on the far side after that whole train's Paragon, I presume. And there's a pairing of 387s, and they are starting to speed up a bit now. 387-121. And 387-111. Now arriving is the 1440 Thameslink service from Brighton to Cambridge, being worked by a class 700. (700-140). And down there you can see the 1441 Thameslink service from Peterborough to Horsham. Now departing is the 1442 Thameslink service from Peterborough to Horsham, and also now departing is the 1442 Thameslink service from Brighton to Cambridge. And this is 700-150. Now arriving is the 1448 Thameslink service from London King's Cross to Cambridge, being worked by a class 700. (700-009). From London King's Cross to Edinburgh Waverley. Now departing is the 1449 Thameslink service from London King's Cross to Cambridge. The next train to pass by is going to be at LNER Azuma from Lincoln Central to London King's Cross. (800-205). The next train to pass by is going to be at LNER Azuma from London King's Cross to Leeds. (801-226). And here is the 1447 Thameslink service from Cambridge to Brighton, being worked by a class 700. (700-108). Now departing is the 1458 Thameslink service from Cambridge to Brighton. The next train to pass by is going to be the third LNER 225 set of the video from Leeds to London King's Cross. And 91,107, and I really didn't plan to see as many 225 sets, but I will happily take it. Now arriving is the 1504 Thameslink service from Cambridge to London King's Cross, being worked by a class 700. And the answers back to the next train at whatever platform doesn't stop here thing. Pretty weird glitch, I've never seen anything like that before. Now departing is the 1505 Thameslink service from Cambridge to London King's Cross, and it is 700,046. Now arriving is the 1507 Thameslink service from Brighton to Cambridge, being worked by a class 700. Seven hundred 124. Now departing is the 1508 Thameslink service from Brighton to Cambridge. Now arriving is the 1510 Thameslink service from Horsham to Peterborough, being worked by a class 700. 700,111. And it is the Thank You NHS livery. Now departing is the 1511 Thameslink service from Horsham to Peterborough. The next train to pass by is going to be a Great Northern, lot of Class 387s, from King's Lynn to London King's Cross. It is a pair of 387s, 387 110 and 387 115. And over there is a Thameslink Class 700, which I will show you in the next clip. And pretty much straight after, here is the 1513 Thameslink service from London King's Cross to Cambridge, being worked by a Class 700, 700 052. The next train to pass by is going to be a Great Northern, lot of Class 387s from London King's Cross to King's Lynn. 387 108 and 387 109 in numerical order. And straight after, here's LNER Zoomer from Edinburgh Waverley to London King's Cross. 801 210 chasing yellows behind those 387s from King's Lynn. Now departing is the 1516 Thameslink service from London King's Cross to Cambridge, which was running a few minutes late due to a red light, which has now cleared to a yellow. Now arriving is the 1518 Thameslink service from Horsham to Peterborough, being worked by a Class 700. With a very bright light, it's 700 105. Now departing is the 1520 Thameslink service from Horsham to Peterborough. The next train to pass by is going to be LNER Zoomer from London King's Cross to Stirling. The next train to pass by is going to be a Great Northern Class 717 from Letchworth CSD to Hertford North. In fact, it might even stop. Okay, it's stopping. Maybe for a driver change? I don't really know. Oh! That's 801-216 from London King's Cross to York. Now departing is the Great Northern service from Letchworth CSD to Hertford North, and it did stop for a driver change. And it is 7:17:022. The next train to pass by is going to be at LNER Azuma from Leeds to London King's Cross. (801-107). And the next train to pass by, which I'm sure you saw at the end of the last clip, is some Great Northern Class 387s from London King's Cross to Ely. 387113. And 387124. And that will now cross over to the slow line. The next train to pass by is going to be a Great Northern, not of Class 387s, from Cambridge to London King's Cross. And the reason why this isn't running all the way from Ely is because apparently someone was hit by a train, so it had to be cancelled between Cambridge and Ely. And also behind me is a Thameslink Class 700. This is 387107. Here's 700-110. And 387119 is on the rear of this. And this is from Brighton to Cambridge. And I don't know whether it's stopping here or not, because the announcer seems to believe it's not. But the announcer's been saying that all day, so I'm going to presume this is stopping. It looks like it is. In that case, this is the 1537 service, I believe. Now departing is the 1438 Thameslink service from Horsham, no, from Brighton to Cambridge. Not sure why I suddenly thought that was a Peterborough train. Now she is a Horsham train. Now the next train to pass by is going to be a Grand Central Adelante from Sunderland to London King's Cross. 180-104. And now arriving is the 1439 Thameslink service from Peterborough to Horsham, being worked by a Class 700. And this will be the final train of the video. So if you did enjoy, please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you wish, and I'll try to respond to it, and join my Discord server if you want to talk to me and my fans. And this is 700-118. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.